Sean looks into Henry's car and sees the newspaper clipping with the headline of him solving the crime. And so from the very beginning, something's burning.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our second Corona special. Well, at least that's what I assume we are calling it, because this was definitely not recorded at the same time as the first one. But we got a new crew here. We got Josh and Jacob back. David is returning. And, of course, you got me, Pesky. And today we've got something not baseball related, not chicken related, but we think it's definitely worth the discussion.
Important.
So, take it away, boys.
Today we're going to be talking about the greatest TV show of all time that will never ever be replicated in the future or has ever been replicated in the short history of TV. And that is Psych, the TV show.
Yes, sir.
The greatest TV show of all time. We will tell you why. We're not just going to leave it at that. We're not be
well, thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Everyone here has finished the show, right?
I actually have not quite finished. I have 2 seasons left.
I've watched it 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna rewatch it like when I go off to college.
Dude, I've rewatched so many episodes. So, okay, maybe if you don't know what it is, it's a comedy mostly, like a detective comedy. About this guy and his best friend. This guy gets in trouble with the police, and the only way he can get out is by pretending to be psychic because he's got really good observational skills.
Look at that. It's a pineapple.
Oh my goodness.
I just got a pineapple.
For those of you who are listening,
it's not actually mine. It's
Josh just got a pineapple from somebody, and the pineapple is the official symbol of Psych, shall we say?
Yep.
Yeah, logo or symbol.
There's a pineapple hidden in every episode that you have to look for in some shape or form. And that's one of the things that makes the show so great, I think. It's so fun. They can do whatever they want, but they do it really well. And it's hilarious. The chemistry between the 2 main characters, Sean and Gus, that's the bromance of TV, honestly, in my opinion.
Amen.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then their whole relationship with the cops.
I mean, Sean and Gus, man. How can you have a funnier and more... it's good.
They've got quite the chemistry.
There's no greater duo in the history of TV. Sean and Gus, even as when off screen, like when they're just doing those Psych promos, they're still so funny, and the chemistry between them is just so obvious, and it just makes you like their friendship so much. It really makes you feel their friendship. So, like, whenever they're actually arguing on the show, I'm like, no, please. Although I also know that they'll never break up, which coincidentally is the name of the last episode, in which we will not actually reveal what happens, because some of the listeners probably have not seen it. And David, actually, you might have seen the very last episode.
I have not, actually.
Nothing happens.
Okay, good.
It's a super boring episode.
Okay.
A great episode.
Worst episode ever.
Okay, that's good.
Good.
I hate it.
Yes.
Jacob, why have you watched it 3 times?
Well, I watched it during quarantine, actually, here in Jordan, because...
So now, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched it twice before, just because it's a great show.
I agree. I think I've seen it 6 times.
Nice.
And I started it, 2 years ago?
I started it
Maybe?
last year.
Yeah, I started it 2 years ago.
So you're on track. Yeah.
Man, one of the things about it, though, is, like, the timing of everything that happens. So, like, every TV show has your typical, right, there's, like, the typical dilemma, the typical problem for the main character. Then you got your typical, like, love stories that you got to sneak in there somehow. And, like, typical, characters leaving and introducing new characters. But Psych does all of that perfectly.
None of it is cheesy.
No, exactly.
True.
Like, with the romance, I'm usually not a huge fan of romance in TV shows. But in Psych, there's a particular romance that I will not mention. Well, I don't know, maybe I should.
Go ahead, mention it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, the romance between Sean and Juliet is so well... it's so well built up in the beginning that like it's really well built up, and then you eventually just kind of start thinking it's never going to happen, but then it happens like at the moment when you least expect it, like when she starts going out with Declan, and then like the episode later, the next episode, they like kiss.
Yeah.
And it's
Ooh,
super
kissing.
romantic. I know.
That's kind of gross.
It's yeah, a little gross, but oh well.
If you have a problem with watching kissing on TV, you may have to skip a couple parts of the show, because there is kissing.
Ooh.
Mainly between Sean and Gus, but
Whoa.
that's not
Mainly,
it's a joke. They never actually kiss.
I feel like this entire time we're just gonna realize that Jacob has actually been watching a different show and he just didn't know it.
Like when I go Sean and Juliet, he's like, "What? I thought it was between Sean and Gus," and we're all like, "Okay."
Also, it also has a movie, which is a pretty good movie, and
I
a
agree.
musical.
I agree.
It does.
The musical is actually fantastic.
Yeah.
They're all incredible singers.
Yeah, that was surprising actually. But yeah, and that's one of the things about the show is that they set it up so they can do almost anything they want with it within the laws of nature, I guess.
Right, obviously.
But like the stories they did a musical in a detective show technically, and it still worked brilliantly.
It still works.
Oh,
And like their horror episodes, they have episodes that are
They're so good.
like I do not like horror movies. Like that's just not my thing. It's not so much like because they're scary, it's just I don't like the concept. I think they're stupid. I don't think the plot has any,
I agree, but I like watching them. I agree with everything that you just said, except for that I actually enjoy watching them.
But Psych's horror episodes are some of their funniest and most
Yeah,
like
they're
well
still
written
funny.
ones.
And they're still scary, too.
Yeah, they got the horror
Yeah.
aspect, they got the interesting crime aspect, and of course, you got the Gus being terrified and Sean pretending not to be terrified.
Except for in the very first horror episode, one of my favorite scenes from the entire show is when they're going into the house, and like they
The
hear a
sorority
sound.
house.
Yeah, the sorority house, and all the girls hear, or they all hear the sound, and they look around, and like the lights dim, and they look around, and Sean and Gus are just gone, and it just cuts to Sean and Gus just screaming and running towards the
yeah.
car. I just die laughing every time.
Yeah, that's really good.
I actually have, not for this episode, but for a bunch of, or just for myself, I have just random psych memes on my phone that I'm looking at right now.
I also remember, Josh, there was that one time I was at your house and we wanted to watch a bunch of episodes, but we didn't have time to watch them all,
Right.
obviously, otherwise we would have. But we spent, I think, the better part of 2 hours going through every single episode and then narrowing down the list to like 6 of the most amazing ones.
That was one of the most difficult nights of my life.
Yeah.
Eliminating those episodes. It hurt, man. And we never even got to watch the ones that we eliminated together. One of my many regrets.
I agree. We'll have a reunion someday and watch Psych.
Wait, David, so where are you in the show? Like what just happened?
So let's see. I just finished the first episode of season 7.
Oh,
It's
Santa
part
Barbara
two-
Town
Part 2
2.
or something. Yeah. Finished that one, and it's getting very good.
What do you think of the new like special effects that they add?
It's interesting. I kind of like it.
Yeah,
Honestly.
me too.
I mean, it's different. It's different, but it doesn't change it too much, and I think you can kind of see what he's saying more clearly,
I
which is
agree.
good.
yeah.
And I also love Woody's character, honestly, and
Yes.
Oh,
they
man.
they had more and more of him as the show goes on, and I just love that. I
Yeah.
love seeing him. He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
He might be my favorite character.
Dude, okay. Favorite characters right now. Let's go.
I'd say Woody.
Woody quote, "I can't die. I have 43 Twitter followers who depend on me."
I watched that one yesterday. I watched that episode.
That sounds like us with our 17 Twitter followers.
Oh, also in the season 7 episode 1, when Woody just carries the body bag around everywhere he goes. Like,
or the time when Sean Sean pats him on the back and he goes, "Also, your wife is cheating on you with her tennis instructor." And he goes, "Oh, I know. I approve that one."
I approve that one.
Man. All right, so David, your favorite's Woody. What about the rest of you guys? It's hard to narrow it down. They're all amazing, but like if you had to pick one.
It's so hard. Honestly, I might agree with David. I think Woody's a great character. Yeah, he's so funny and so quirky.
Woody is the coroner, is that what you call it?
Yep.
Yeah,
the coroner at the police department. By the way, Woody was only introduced in season 5 or 6?
4.
4?
Wasn't it 4?
I don't know.
Maybe it was 5. I don't remember.
But that's how good this show is. They introduce a new person in season 4 or 5, more than halfway through the show, and he's already like an incredible addition. He fits so well.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree. It's so good.
Yeah, and he doesn't take away from any of the main characters either. He just adds to them.
No, he doesn't.
So
yeah,
it's beautiful.
Jacob, you got
Jacob,
someone?
what's your favorite character?
I don't know. That's really hard.
I'm gonna go with Gus.
Gus?
Yeah.
Gus is such a good character.
Yeah.
They're all so good. We keep repeating everything. No, but what I like about him is just he really, I mean, you can't really have, you know what, maybe Sean and Gus should be considered one character, because you can't have one without the other.
That's true, actually.
It's true.
Yeah.
Here's a Gus quote. "Jail's no fun, I'll tell you that much. Oh, you've been? Once. In Monopoly."
Oh, man.
And there's the scene where they're talking to the convict in the prison, and he goes, "Hello, Mr." Or this is Sean talking. "Hello, Mr. Waring. My name is Sean Spencer, and this is my associate, Burton Guster." Gus just goes, "Now you want to use my real name?"
Oh, that's another amazing part of the show, the nicknames.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
"This is my partner, Lil Wayne."
So every time Sean and Gus meet somebody new that they've never met before, Sean's just like, "Hey, I'm Sean, and this is my partner, whatever nickname." It's so great. You can Google a compilation of that on YouTube. Just
They're
psych
incredible.
nicknames.
Those compilations
So
are
funny.
so fun.
You know what? Okay, besides Sean or Gus, my favorite, I think, is actually Sean's dad, Henry.
He's a great character.
Yeah, and his character development was really good.
His character development development and the development of his relationship with Sean
Yes.
is so good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Because even from the first episode, they show that Sean and Gus have a very, or not Sean and Gus, Sean and Henry have a very rocky relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But they also show at the very end, once Sean has figured out the case, Sean looks into Henry's car and sees the newspaper clipping with the headline of him solving the crime. And so from the very beginning, something's burning. Hopefully it's not my apartment. Okay,
Hopefully it's not
from the
the
very
pineapple.
beginning. Yeah, right? From the very beginning, they kind of show that, no, it's definitely barbecue. Okay, that's okay. They show that there's tension between them, but they both kind of also still love each other.
Yeah.
And it kind of develops as the show goes on.
Yeah, that's
and
what,
it's so
and he's
good.
also funny in his own way alongside his serious side.
He is, yeah.
He's a really great guy to have just to see interact with the others. But Jacob, you were saying something?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I think probably my favorite character would be Sean, just because he's hilarious and he's just, like, he's got a great relationship with pretty much everyone except for Lassiter
yeah.
and his dad. But I'd say my second favorite would probably be Lassiter, just because like he may seem more serious,
Lassie.
but he's actually pretty funny, but like he does it in a serious manner, and he's a phenomenal actor.
I actually really love Lassie. I think he might be my second favorite.
He's
like-
such a good character.
Like as the show goes on, his relationship with Sean and Gus, it's not like he likes them anymore, but like he has their back throughout the whole show.
Yeah. And, we've established basically there are no wrong answers when it comes to favorite characters because
I agree.
these guys
Yeah.
it's an incredible cast
Yeah.
and Like you really need to watch it. But
except for Harris Trout.
oh, but I still liked his storyline though.
If you said yes, his storyline was good, but if you said that he was your favorite character, I would have a
Oh,
problem.
okay.
Is he in the later seasons?
Yes.
Yeah, oh
yes.
yeah, he hasn't
He's
come
later.
yet.
David will counter him. But actually, speaking of what Josh said earlier about that newspaper clipping where Sean saw his dad was actually proud of him of solving the case. This is in the pilot episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like that's like moments like that. Also, the show is just full of those moments where it's like more serious or more emotional, and it's just so good for like gluing the characters together.
Right.
And there's
Yeah.
one particular moment in the finale. I mean, you can imagine the whole finale is probably pretty emotional. But there's one particular moment that, like, small moment like that, but that's when it really, like, it settles the dust once and for all. I'm talking about I'm talking about the thing that happened with Lassiter.
Yeah.
David's gonna see that, and the rest of you will when you watch this and realize you're hooked. You'll see that in the finale, but that's what.
That is a beautiful moment.
Yeah. But I think that's it for today's Corona special. In conclusion,
Man, I could keep talking about Psych for so long.
We could.
We haven't even gotten into like side
Yeah.
characters and stuff, which are also so good.
we might have a part 2
But yeah.
of this segment. We might just make a new podcast for Psych. Who knows?
Why not?
But in conclusion, for
The
this segment,
Psychcast.
watch the show. That's all.
Yes,
Trust us. You have time now. We know you have time.
We know you have time, and believe me when I say that it is the greatest show known to man.
Yeah.
Amen.
It is. And maybe next time we'll have a guest like Sean on. You know what? That's a dream. But you know what? Probably
No
won't happen.
promises. No promises. But maybe.
But maybe. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Stay home. Stay healthy. And we will see you next time.
All right.
Watch Psych.
Yeah, watch Psych.